My name is Juan Carlos Belloso. I'm from Barcelona. I have a small company specialized in place branding. It's called Future Places. And I'm advisor for the city of Barcelona on strategy, competitiveness and branding. So I came to participate in a session about branding of territories and I explained the case of Barcelona. I think it's a mix of both things. I think it's a science and it's an art. And it needs a lot of experience also. I think it's a science because you can use a lot of methodologies from different disciplines to be applied in the branding of a place. But somehow you need creativity and how to use this in a creative way. So I think somehow it's an art too. And it needs experience, it needs practice because you really need to have lived changes in places. You have to have experience to be able to really understand what does it mean. So it's a combination of the three. Again, I think that comes with the previous question. I think there's always, you can use kind of similar approach when you have the challenge of helping a place to brand, to be promoted, to be known. So you can use certain type of procedures. In this sense, I think you can apply, but every place is different. So you have to really, that's why I say you have to really be able to understand what the place is, what is the situation, what is the idiosyncrasy of the place. Mm-hmm. So, yes. And with that you can then create something special for the place. So you can be the approach similar, but depending on the place you use it in a different way. That's my experience in this. I would put it in another way. I think every city has a brand because every city has a reputation. Want it or not, you have some image that people has created about the place. Some places you don't know them, but they have a brand because local people think about the place in a certain way, people that relate to the place, so they have a brand. So in a sense, they all need to take care of their brand or of their reputation. So that's why I think they all need branding in the sense of building a reputation that is positive and attractive for the place and for the citizens. In this way, I think everybody needs to think about the reputation of its place and working on that. The difference is that maybe you are in an earlier stage in the process of thinking about reputation, branding, and thinking about the benefits and why you should do that. But somehow when you look at the cases, and I work with Dennis in the case of Kirovograd, so I know the case very well, which is in Ukraine. But I think similarities are there because the objectives are more or less similar in the sense that why do they want to do that? The places want to promote, to be better known. They want to be attractive because they want to retain the talented people, the entrepreneurs, the companies. They want to attract. Why? Because they want to get some income, because they want to make the city better for the citizens. So in a sense, I think it's a similar thing. I think it's a question, it's a cultural question. It's a question that probably is in the earlier stages. And sometimes it's just that we don't understand here, which happens in many places, by the way. But why this branding? Why do we want to do that? I think it's a question of educating in the sense that we need to really understand what place branding means, really. And I think if you think about what I was saying about reputation and how this can help you to do a better place for your people, I think then it's easier to understand. I think the first step is that especially the leaders, which can be the administration plus the the private sector, are aware of the need of working on their reputation. I think that's the first step. Unless you are really aware that you need to do something, either because you are in a difficult situation or because you have an opportunity. In the case of Barcelona, there wasn't a need because the city was really bad after 40 years of dictatorship. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you have an opportunity, you have an event, you have something coming in, or maybe you just have a visionary in your city council. And I think that's the first step to start, to be really aware that you need to do something. Then you can start thinking about where are you, where do you want to go, why do you want to do that, how do you, but unless you are really convinced that you need to do that or there is an opportunity or a need, it's going to be just an exercise, but this is a real life, no? What I would say is that we are all citizens and we all want the best for our places. So I think the people is working to improve their places, their image, that they have to be committed, they have to be brave, that it takes time, but I think that this is worthwhile. Because when you do something for your own people, for your own city, or your own community, you're working for your children, you're working for your families, so you're trying to improve, to get a better life for them. And I think this is all about that. So I would encourage them to keep working on that. I think Moscow is the undiscovered next global city for the citizens and for the world. I'm global in an essence that I look at the world as one single world or market, but I'm local in the way that when I work, when I look at specific territories or places, you really need to go local to understand what are the differences, what are the needs. So every place is different. You need to go local, but you need to be global to understand what are the trends, what's happening in the world. If you're just local and don't understand what the world is about, it's going to be difficult to change things. So it's global, but then I think that's Maxime was explaining. Think global and act locally or drink locally.